I'm going to show you how to create a trophy, the classic cup trophy. Now, before we begin, a quick reminder that I did do a live stream yesterday, but I forgot to unlist it, so it looks like some people actually managed to watch it, so I guess you guys must have gone to the must have gone to the channel, to the website, and were able to see it out, which is, I want to thank you for that. So this is the one I did yesterday. It's the GOGS locally hosted Git server. Obviously you can install it on your server as well. So I installed it using Podman, and obviously I was able to do Git stuff with it. So just a quick reminder that I'm going to stop doing Git stuff for a while because I ran out of beginner-friendly stuff. If you guys want anything specific with Git in the future, let me know. So what's going to happen is the days I was going to do Git stuff, I'm going to do something else. It might be AI, might be more self-hosted things because there's a lot of content for that, and that seems to be pretty popular. So that's most likely what's going to take up that space, and maybe in a few months' time I'll go back to some Git stuff. Okay. So for this tutorial, again, you simply go to Watch menu, Live Sub menu. You can see topics for this and upcoming tutorials. For example, this is what we're doing today. We're going to generate a classic cup trophy using the Blender Python API. And as usual, the live streams at 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join the live chat and post anything about programming or lifestyle topics. And I have the direct link to the channel where I'm doing the live stream. Now, I happen to be doing multi-stream right now, so it's going out to YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. So all four of them all at the same time. I'm using FFmpeg in case you're wondering. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. That helps the channel grow. And when I learn something, I like to share it. So and also some of my viewers and subscribers, they help me as well, and I learn. I said we share, everything is shared. So so something like this is something that I personally like. I like obviously Python, I like programming, and obviously with Blender you're able to do things like this pretty simple. So as you can see there with this little demo, the animation, that was all done in Blender using the Python Blender Python API. So this is, believe it or not, that's all colors. I'm not using any textures. So the reason I'm able to achieve that is because I'm using also environmental lighting. I'm using the HDR image, and I'll explain that, I believe, in this tutorial as well. I'm using, this one is a courtyard, but you can use the forest. The forest is the default one when you're using Python, at least for Python 4.5. Okay, so this is also a beginner-friendly video as well. So in order to display this on the web, I'm using the model viewer. I'm using the CDN, so that means you don't have to have any code. You just load up the model. I'll show you how to do that when you get to the HTML part. So to generate the trophy, there's a code here. If you're impatient, you can simply just grab it, and you can paste it in the, when you open up Blender, go to the scripting workspace, scripting workspace. You click new, you paste the code there, then you generate the trophy for you. Then you can tweak it any way you want, and then you export it as a GLB file. The GLB stands for glTF, but glTF by default is JSON. Now you can embed things like sample images and stuff, but the JSON file will get very, very big and will be a little bit unwieldy, especially because of the text file. So I prefer the binary because it's just one binary file. And I don't have to, for example, base 64 the images or anything like that. It's just easier to handle, especially if there's a parser like the model viewer. And then after that, you can tweak the Python code as well. I'll show you what I did with mine. And then just open up on the command line, just type Blender space -b. -b just means in the background, space -p, the P is capitalized, and then the Python file, and then that could generate everything for you. You can create a Blender file. You can also create the GLB file, as you can see right here. And then to get a realistic lighting, I said I'm using an HDR image. So so basically Blender by default uses EXR images. Those are open source. I'm talking about the format. The problem is it's not well supported in the on the web. So that's why I used GIMP to convert it to HDR, because that one has a better support. So as you can see here, for example, I'm using the Courtyard. It was a courtyard.exr. So that's usually found in the Blender's installation folder. It depends where you are. It's different from Linux, obviously Mac OS and Windows. But normally the way it's saved, it's usually there will be the name. For example, I'm using Blender 4.5. It will be something like 4.5. Then inside there, it will either say /data files, or it might say Studio Light World, and then the name in this courtyard.exr. And then what you do is I just simply copy that file. I do have there's no license restrictions on it, and obviously I'm giving them credit, so I'm honoring whatever license they're using, and I explain where I got it. I didn't make it up yet. I'm talking, I didn't make up the image myself yet. I'll talk about that a little bit later, and why this tutorial is a little bit late. So you can see HDR. Those ones are for the web browser. They have good support, especially by 3D libraries, and it's a classic simple HDR format. The problem is it's large. So EXR, this one is OpenEXR, as I said. This one has the problem is it's very limited. There's no library that really supports it, so that's why I had to convert to HDR. It's high quality, it's used in VFX, but typically not natively supported in web browsers. So that's one of the problems. And then there's another one called KTX. There's KTX and then KTX2. The good thing now, it's created by the Kronos group. So does it have HDR support? Of course it does. And it claims here it has excellent modem support, and this might be the best option. The KTX2 supports subcompression for fast loading and efficient GPU memory use. So I might try this in the future. So obviously KTX2, yeah, I might try this in the future. When I was fooling around with some OpenGL stuff in the past, I couldn't get this one to work. But looks like that. Well, man, it's been such a long time. So probably over 10 years ago. So yeah, I should probably start. I should actually. What I'll try to do next time is I'll convert the EXR to KTX2 and see what that one does. If it does, then I'll just continue using the. So it looks like it is compressed. So it might be even better compressed than EXR. So okay, I'll try this next time. Not just for usual Blender 3D stuff, but maybe for other things as well. Okay, so are there any open source alternatives to HDR formats? Yes, of course. As I said, there's a Kronos group, that's the KTX2, and obviously the EXR. Now I explained the problem is EXR is not well supported in the what do you call it? It's not well supported in the on the web browser, and I did try to use this because it was better compressed than HDR. It did not work with the model viewer, so that's why I did convert it to HDR now and work. So maybe next time I'll try the KTX2. Okay, and to display on the web, I have the code here, and I'll show you that when I actually take care of it. You see, it's this courtyard.e. It's not HDR doesn't work. I had to convert it to HDR. And this is the screenshots. As you can see, even in Blender, it looks really nice. I mean, it's golden. That's the key I was going for. That's a trophy look. And you can see, depending on the lighting you use, you see this one doesn't have any light. I don't know if it has default lights. I can't see that right now. But you see when you use it comes out much better by using environmental lighting, right? It's just better look. And this is the video. As you can tell, this is live stream. And you can see depending on, yeah, so we're doing this live. All right. Now, I'm going to show you this. We don't need this two here, so I'm going to delete those two because we're going to regenerate them. And you see it here, this just means it's I didn't want to copy the same file over and over again because you see it's pretty big. It's like 2 megabytes. So all I did was I just basically hyperlinked it from the Blender folder, this tutorial folder, and put it here. So let's open up these two files here. Just be aware that I don't know if the bug has been fixed. I'll probably try it out later. I recently upgraded to Fedora 43, and there seems to be a bug with NetBeans. Anytime as I said, if I drag something even close to the NetBeans application, it crashes GNOME desktop. So I have to be careful when I drag and drop. Hopefully this does work. Okay, this is fine because I'm not actually using NetBeans right now. All right, so let's take a look at the Python code here. So obviously you import the Blender Python module here. Import OS. The OS, I'm using that to get the file paths because I want to save everything relative to where the Python file is. And then we need some math, and we import the radians. Remember, Blender uses radians. It doesn't do, like, for example, 20 degrees, 40 degrees. Use radians. If you don't know what radians are, that means that it goes from 0 to 1. So if I want to do colors, as an example, is instead of using, say, RGB, instead of going from 0 to 255 or 0 to 128, I have to go from 0 to 1. So that's the quickest summary I can get. So I create some variables here. One is for the blend file, the name, and one is for the export file, the HTML, sorry, the GLB file. And then here I don't need this anymore, but I was doing this because I was using the Flatpak version because when I was using Fedora 42, I was using Flatpak. The reason for that was that the Blender in Fedora 42 doesn't support H.265. So I had to get the one from the Flatpak one. There wasn't one in RPM Fusion. So I said that's this is a one-liner just to get to the path where we're working. And here we clear the scene. So you guys have seen this several times before. We just select all the objects and delete them. The reason to do that is because right now Blender, as of 4.5 LTS in 2025, they have a default cube, a default light, and a default camera. So I don't want to use those ones because in the future they might change. They might remove something, they might use something. So relying on those ones in the future is going to break my script. So that's why I remove them and put my own in there. So so as you can see, I had a light. I use the sun. I give it its location, and then I had a camera. You see, I also give it its location, its rotation. And then I make the camera the active, the context as active. Then to save export, I just join those paths. I use os.path.join, so it's the directory of the folder, and then the names. And then to save the files, as you can see here, it's simply just for the blend files bpy.ops.wm.save_as_main file. And you put the file path in there. And then for the GLB file, we select all. And it's bpy.ops.export_scene.glTF. Put the file path there. Export format is GLB. Export true. Export y up true. And use selection set to true. And then after that, we create the materials, the gold materials. You guys get the point. So to get the materials, we have the gold color, which is 0.8, 0.6, 0.1. The base color is set to the gold color. The metallic value is set to 1. And the roughness is set to 0.15 because we're on rough. We want it a little bit smooth, so it's just a shine, little gloss. And then for the trophy selection, we have the name, the shape, the size parameters, location, and materials. So shape is, we set the location, we set the size parameters, give a name, and then append the material to it, and then we subsurface division, subdivision surface modifier. We set the levels to 2, the render levels to 3, and then to build the trophy, we can take the gold material. Name we set to sorry about that. I was thinking of something else. Yeah, I was a little bit busy last night. I'm a little excited because I'm, what do you call it? there's some stable diffusion stuff. I found something called stable diffusion CPP. So it's similar to Llama CPP. I've been testing it because it might be a replacement for Comfy UI. So I'm testing it right now. Right, so far I don't think it's using the GPU, maybe, but I'm saying is I'm working on it. All right, back to this. So trophy base, vertices, the radius, the depth, all this is in on the written part. So vertices 64, radius 1.5, depth is 0.2, scale is 1, 1, 2. So that's X, Y, and Z. Location X, Y, Z is 0, 0, 0.1. The material, the gold material, and the trophy component, that's the base, the bottom part. You see there's 3 of them. They look like biscuits. For you British fans, and then it's the same. We just make it smaller. The base is just smaller and smaller. So you see the radius changes from 1.5 to 1.2. Everything else stays the same. And finally, the last one, the radius will be 0.8. So that's the base layer 3. And then the stem, of the trophy. Vertices 64, radius 0.3, depth 1.5, location 0, 0, 1.3, and the material is also gold. And then the cup, vertices 64, radius is 1.5, radius 1, 1.5, radius 2, 0.5, and depth is 1.5, scale is 1, 1, 1.5, and the location is 0, 0, and 2.5 plus 1.5 divided by 2. Okay, that gives it a stacked look. And then you see the rotation, again, we use radians, so basically 180 degrees. That's why we imported from the math. And we have handles. So the handles are the major segment 64, minor segment 16, major radius 0.8, minor radius 0.1, location is 0.903, material is also gold, and then that one's rotated on the x-axis 90 degrees and the y-axis 90 degrees. And handle 2 is a copy of handle 1. Of course, the only difference is location x is set to 0.9, so meaning exact opposite of that one. And the bpy.context.view_layer.object.active is set to cup. And then I have this method where I actually generate the classic cup trophy. You clear scene, then you create the light scene, the gold material, build a simple trophy, then we save the export, and you guys saw how I did that earlier. And that's it. That's the main execution, and we're done. So for the HTML, obviously you need the doc type. In the head section, I just give it a viewport to make it initial scale 1. That's for more, smaller devices. And then this is the module. As you can see here, I'm using a CDN and park.com. And then for this very little styling here, it's irrelevant. It's an H1 tag. Inside the H1 tag, I just say low poly classic trophy model, and then the model viewer tag. As you can see, it's the GLB file, and then I have an alt text, which is low poly classic cup trophy. I say to auto rotate, camera controls, AR, shadow intensity, environmental hyphen image is courtyard.hdr. The environmental hyphen name is animation. That doesn't exist, so but if it did, you could use that. And then autoplay, so it automatically starts rotating all by itself. So that's it. Now drop to the command line here, and oops, come on, there we go. Let me clean this up. It's kind of funny, it's rained for the 4th time in the last 5 days, which is interesting because it hasn't rained since about April, I think April 1st or something like that. So it's very interesting that it actually rains more now. Okay, and then just a blender hyphen space hyphen B space hyphen P, and then just that low poly class trophy pi. And here it shouldn't take too long to generate it. You see that? But it's doing all that and it's done. Just like that. So in just literally a few minutes, a few seconds, looking over the code, you see it's regenerated the file and this one. Now we can open up this in a blend file. Just double click on it, and you can see here. You see this is it here. By default, Blender uses this view page shortening. If you want to change it to say this one, you can see the viewport shading. That's what it looks like. Of course, you can always rotate it and other stuff. You can see it's just a bunch of rings, but that's how they look. It makes it look like it's fancy, but it's actually pretty straightforward. And you can go to this, that's the shading tab if you really want the forest. So that's what it looks like. And if we go to the scripting tag, just click new, as I say, and just put in the script in there. Oh, you can fool around to see what you want to do. So I'm gonna close this. No, I don't need to save. And then I just need to. I'm running the command line. So I'm gonna use Python, since we're already using Python here as the web server. But you can use any web server you want. You don't necessarily have to use Python. Repeat, you can use any web server you want, you feel comfortable with. It could be even PHP if you wish. Okay, so let's go back here. Let me clear this. Just like Python, not PHP, Python. How do you spell Python? P-Y-T-O-N, Python, space -m, and then I just type http.server. And the port I want to use is 8000. Okay, so you see it says 0.0.0.0.0.8000. That means I can connect it using localhost 127.0.0.1, the IP address of this workstation, and any other device. I can use the same thing as long as I have the IP address of this device. So if we go here, I'm going to open up a Chromium browser, but before I do that, I'm going to check to see if there's any live chats. I'm going to start with Odyssey here. Odyssey is fine, and I'm going to refresh for Rumble. Rumble is fine as well. You just heard it. Odyssey is fine, and I'm going to refresh for Rumble. Rumble is fine as well. Okay, and then I'm going to refresh for BitChute. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So, and also YouTube, of course. And then what I can do is, let me turn off this window, put it here. So 192, it's 8000. Okay, so the one we want is this one, HTML, and there we go. You see my hands, it's gonna start rotating by itself. You see that, it rotates by itself. Again, my hands are here. You can also do this. You can see how quickly it's going to remind you of a trophy. So it's a golden trophy, and that's what it looks like. Nice and simple. See, I don't have to code. You see, that's the bottom, that's the top. Pretty simple to create, just using Blender Python. And obviously, you can make it as fancy as you want. You can only have half arced handles. That'll be all up to you. I think it looks pretty good for. It reminds me of as it calls in North America, soccer or football. And there you go. I'm just saying, like the way it looks is pretty okay. So that's the end of the tutorial. Let's finish this up quickly. Oh wow, the heater's on. Because I don't know if you guys can hear that. So it must be below 15 degrees. Level up your Python and Blender skills. Are you eager to dive deeper into scripting and automation? I authored resources to help you master Python and its application in 3D. So you can get my book. It's called Learning Python. It's available on Amazon. The links are in the description. You can get my writing Blender Python code. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, and there's also a Mastering Blender Python API where you can take your 3D automation skills to the next level with this comprehensive guide. It's also available on Amazon. The link's also in the description. Now, that the Mastering Blender Python book, it has examples not just for 3D modeling. You can also do stuff like the video sequencer, and you can also create your own plugin. So all that information is there, all in Python. The only thing it doesn't have is the grease pencil. And the reason for that is because most of the tools you see online for the grease pencil, they're very, very old, and things change. I think it's grease pencil 3 or something like that. It changed, and I haven't been able to follow along myself, but if I do, you guys will see them here. Okay. And if you want to enroll in my comprehensive online course, it's called Learning Python as well. It's available on ojamboshop.com. If you want any coupons for the course, let me know. I can regenerate. I generated a whole bunch last year, and I wouldn't mind creating some for this year as well. Alright, and if you need personalized guidance, if you prefer one-on-one attention, I'm available for online Python tutorials, including specialized topics like Blender Python API and 3D web integration. Feel free to contact me to schedule a session at ojambo.com/contact. That said, I'll quickly remind I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You visit ojambo.com, go to watch many live summary, you see topics of this and upcoming tutorials. Also be sure to subscribe, like, and follow because that helps the channel grow, and I enjoy making tutorials just like this one just for you guys. If there's anything you want me to do in Python, with Python and Blender, let me know. Or if you want me to do some just straight up Blender stuff, I will. I actually use Blender as my video sequence, my video editor. I haven't found anything else that comes close. It has never crashed on me. Yes, it's a little bit slow because it doesn't use any GPU for rendering, which I would love, but other than that, I'm very happy with it. And what else? Yeah, I have 3 other recommended resources. The first one is SpaceX Starlink residential service. I live in a rural area, and I use there is no internet here, or cellular service is also spotty at best. The SpaceX Starlink for all my internet needs. For example, right now I'm streaming. That's what I'm using. I remember I'm streaming to YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey at the same time using FFmpeg. And I also use it on my phone for Wi-Fi calling, so I'm able to call and receive voice calls, text messages, including multimedia, the multimedia version, MMS. Okay, so if you do use my referral link, I'll get 1 month free, and you will get a discount. It's the amount or the type and its duration is based on your geographical location, but you do get a discount. The other one I have is an affiliate link. It's for this little guy. It's called the Honeywell Heatbud Personal Ceramic Heater. It's available on Amazon. This little guy helped me save over $100 a month on heating costs. Because I'm in a rural area, they have to bring in propane, tanks outside for propane. So that's extremely expensive. So the first year I was here, it was mild, and I was paying $350 a month, which is crazy. So last year, after the chickens were big enough to go outside into their hoop coop, I obviously I started using this little guy. It's a personal heater. It has 2 settings. You see that? It has a high and low. So the low setting is 170 watts. The high setting is 250 watts. So most of the time I just use the medium one because obviously it will be slightly less noise, but also that's good enough. Like, what people don't understand, and this is why I dislike propane, is that I'm going to be here for a very long time, right? So if it takes a while to heat up, that's perfectly fine. That I'm going to be here. I don't need, for example, you just saw the heater, that's the propane heater just turned off, and you see within a few minutes I'm still gonna feel chilly because heat rises. But this little guy, even if you switch it off, because it heated a piece of metal, it's still gonna radiate off some heat, so I'll feel much better, and it's more natural. Plus, it doesn't give a particulate matter where I have to then switch on the air exchanger. I mean, what's the point? The exchanger is then gonna drop the temperature a little bit. It's like they're fighting each other, which I just like. So if you do purchase, or if you're thinking of getting a little thing like this, you can use my affiliate link. Sometime soon, maybe I'll start putting the affiliate links in the descriptions, but for now the affiliate links are on every article. You can simply go to jambo.com and you can see them there. I was trying to maybe put the affiliate links based on the content of the of the tutorial or the video, but I think just putting them in one place is just easier for now. All right, and then finally, I was promoting this little novelette last month. I'll continue doing that right now. It's called the algorithmic serpent. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, and he has to regain control of his mind and the AI system. It's by me. You'll see my name there, Errol Jambo. And this is the back. This is the paperback version. So it has real pages. There we go. And there's also an ebook version. The ebook version is free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So you can pick that up, one or the other or both, on Amazon right now. I made them as affordable as possible. They're basically at cost. The reason for that is because I want to get them out there so people can give me some reviews, good or bad, because I want to improve. I want to write more than just programming books. Okay, and with that said, that's the end of this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, as I said before, and like the video. Leave comments. I do read them, especially right now. All my channels are still pretty small, so I'm able to read and I can reply as well. The other thing is, tonight I'll probably do I'm working on this to that AI thing. If I can get it working, I got it installed and everything, but it looks like I might have to reinstall it because it didn't pick up the GPU. I'll do some debugging and hopefully I can, and then I'll do a tutorial on that tonight. It'll be another AI tutorial, and then yeah, I'll show you guys what I've been up to. All right, so there will definitely be a live stream tonight because, as you can see, the weather it's raining, so I still can't finish up my shed, so it'll give me plenty of time to do something else. All right, guys, so see you tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll leave you now. Have a great day. Bye now.